You're listening to the Telltale channel. Don't forget to check me out on all social media: Patreon, Twitter, Teespring, and Etsy. All links can be found in the description or on my website, telltaleatheist.com. The Mormon Church recently released a new handbook to the public that changed a lot of rules. And Zelf on the shelf here at their website, it says, let's be clear what this is. It's a change and not a clarification. So the Mormon Church did not hold these views before. They do now. These are changes. The biggest change, a lot of these are just kind of procedural things, just regular things that don't really affect anybody in their day-to-day life. One of the biggest ones is the change to punishments for trans members. It's a really big deal, and it's all over the place right now. I'll tell you what, let's read this other article by Advocate and see what it has to say. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, known informally as the Mormon Church, has never been supportive of transgender identity, but now it has fully spelled out its anti-trans positions in a new handbook available online. Gender is an essential characteristic of Heavenly Father's plan of happiness, says the General Handbook, serving in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. God, the name. Can't they please shorten that fucking thing? I swear, from this moment on, I am going to complain about the name anytime I'm forced to say it. The intended meaning of gender in the Family Proclamation is biological sex at birth. So let me explain to you guys, from my understanding, I was not a Mormon, but this is my understanding of the Mormon belief system and why the trans issue is even an issue. It's because they have this analogy in the church where before you were born, you were just a hand. And after you came to earth, your soul is like the hand. And when you come to earth, your body is like a glove that fits over the hand. You are eternal. Your soul is eternal. It has always existed. It will always exist. You are who you are. You are who you will always will be. So when you come to earth and say, holy shit, I am actually a woman, I'm not a man, you're basically saying God done fucked up somewhere along the line to put you in the wrong body. So it's kind of like, from my understanding, a slight against God to say that you're trans. And so they say that whether you are a woman or not, if you were born as a male, then that's what you are for all time, and you're living in sin by not accepting that. That's pretty much the idea behind the doctrine, from my understanding. If somebody knows more information on this, when this clip releases, put a comment in the description on the YouTube video. I will pin it to the very top so you guys can take a look at it. Church leaders counsel against elective medical or surgical intervention for the purpose of attempting to transition to the opposite gender of a person's birth sex, quote-unquote sex reassignment, according to the article here. The handbook continues. Leaders advise that taking these actions will be a cause for church membership restrictions. The book also takes a stand against social transition, changes in dress, grooming, names, or pronouns intended to reflect a gender identity different from the one assigned at birth. That will result in restrictions for the duration of this transition, the document reads, for the duration of this transition, as if this isn't a lifelong thing that people are coming to realize about themselves. How absolutely ridiculous is this? And depressing. Those restrictions could include limits on temple attendance, although trans people are welcome to be baptized or receive communion, the Salt Lake Tribune reports. And the Mormon priesthood, which is reserved for men, will not admit trans men, the book makes clear. It builds on a statement by a top church leader last fall that gender assigned at birth is eternal. That's what I was saying a minute ago. Gender assigned at birth is eternal. That's their whole belief system. So when you say, I'm not who I'm supposed to be, they take it as a personal attack on God, pretty much. That's my understanding of it. The book replaces two earlier ones and reflects the views of the church's two highest governing bodies, the First Presidency and the Quorum of the 12 Apostles. The earlier printed books were available only to faith leaders, while the new one, published online, is accessible to all. There are a number of moral policies that we've now put on paper of where the First Presidency and the Quorum of the 12 stand. Elder Anthony D. Perkins, Executive Director of the Church's Correlation Department, which oversees the creation of the handbook, said in a press release. One of those moral policies that is new is around persons who identify as transgender. The reason that policy has been added is we've had an increase in questions coming from bishops and stake presidents saying, what can a transgender person do? What are the guidelines? The transgender policy states that everyone is welcome to attend our meetings and that we should create a warm, welcoming environment for all, including persons who identify as transgender. At the same time, the policy clarifies that some of the things in the church are gender specific. So gender is completely built into the structure of this religion. Men have certain roles, women have certain roles, period. And those roles and genders have been assigned to you since before you were born and after you die. And you announcing to the world that you are not how you appear to be, you are not the person that you appear to be on the outside, is telling God that he fucked up. It's just absurd from top to bottom. Extremely disappointing, extremely sad, extremely hurtful. And honestly, one more reason to leave Mormonism. You don't need them. Just get the fuck out of there and find community among people who understand what you're going through, understand how you've been hurt, and also understand that it's not right what's happened, what the Mormon church has been doing.